I'm just traveling, traveling, traveling. I'm just traveling through.
Hi. Welcome to. Is that sorry? Sorry, yeah, got it.
Yes,
Okay, so welcome to Transline Hollywood. Your name is?
Suzanne.
And I'm Camille. Hi. We're just having a chat, so if you haven't seen any of our videos before, we just chat. That's what we do. We just, because Suzanne's such an interesting character, and I just find her so fascinating that I just ask her lots of questions, and she tries to answer them without me asking the next question.
Thank you, dear.
So here we are. The last chat we had, we never really got there. So the question I asked you was, when you wake up in the morning, how do you know you want to live as a man or live as a woman?
Well, if I'm going to meet my friend Lee for lunch, which we do quite often at Nordstrom's out in the valley,
So it depends on the person. So it doesn't depend on how you feel.
well, sometimes I spend the day as a female, without meeting anybody.
So you'll potter around the house as a female?
Yeah, or I usually go shopping or go to the market. Sometimes just go to the beach, go for long walks, play with my kitty.
Right. And then sometimes, do you go out at night? Obviously, you go out at night as a female. I know you're with someone at the moment. But when you used to go out, did you go out looking for men or did you go out looking for women?
Well, trans people don't go out at night to a trans bar to hunt for women.
Okay.
Although a lot of trans men that dress up are more into the cross-dressing aspects of it rather than the transgendered aspects of it. There are probably those out there that would say that I'm really a cross-dresser and not transgendered. But cross-dressers don't have the feelings. They don't have the same feelings that transgendered people have, in my opinion. The cross-dressers I know it's a fetish thing. It's to dress up, and they like to do it, and might go home and look in the mirror and masturbate, or maybe not. But I mean, it's more of a sexual get off for a lot of cross-dressers.
So if you feel like you're a woman, whether you've had surgery, not had surgery, dress up or not dress up, you are transgendered in some way?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, I'm sure somebody out there will give us the proper definition, and that was probably really wrong. But it's not wrong to you, and I think that's the thing.
No.
You're the most important person.
I can only speak from my perspective and what I've observed and what other trans people that I know have, talked to me about.
When did you get into the trans world?
Oh, I think the first trans bar that I went to in California was back in the 70s, so 80s, 90s. It's been 35 years, 40 years. That first entered that world. And that was more of clubs that had drag shows, but a lot of trans people would go there because they could dress up.
I'm going to turn that off. What are we at? 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So 4 minutes. We started off with this 4-minute format, but we're not quite. It's just not enough. Not enough time. Not enough time. So we're just sort of extending it. So back to the questions. Because, okay, let's start. So when you're a man, do you like men?
Never. I've never had any desire to be with a man as a man. But as a woman, I love to be the woman. I love to be with a man. And not necessarily, that doesn't mean sexually with him, but just with him.
But let's face it, and you know this as a man.
Yes.
Most men, sorry, men out there, and I'm sure I'm gonna get skewered again. Most men out there, they want something in the end.
Right.
Let's face it.
Right. So every time I would accept a date with some guy, and we'd go out to dinner, and he'd buy drinks and dinner, I felt like, oh shit, he's gonna want to have sex, and I'm gonna have to say no.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, I felt really awkward with the, like.
See, what do they call you? A cock tease?
yeah.
Isn't that the term?
Yeah, but going out on a date, Oh, that was like as thrilling as, you know, having sex with a virgin if you're a guy, you know.
But I've heard that's boring though too. I've heard a lot of guys go, oh gosh, just
Don't
sits there
believe
and-
everything you hear. Sorry.
Or maybe I should proclaim the virginity. Oh, exit. A bit beyond that. So tell me the first time when you went out on a date with a man.
He was a nerd engineer from Jet Propulsion Laboratories in Pasadena.
Oh my God. How old? How long ago was this?
This was back in the 70s. Yeah.
Right. Are we allowed to ask? Am I allowed to ask how old you were?
No.
Approximately.
No.
But can you give me the decade? Can you give me the decade?
I was in my 20s.
In your 20s. Okay. So you met a jet propulsion engineer in Pasadena. What happened?
No, from Pasadena.
Oh, from Pasadena.
I met him at the old Queen Mary Club in Studio City, California, which was like the club of clubs, internationally known. And he was a very nice guy, but he actually asked me out on a date. And it was fantastic. I was thrilled to go out on a date, like a real date.
Where did you go?
I just went to dinner, a nice restaurant in Lower Beverly Hills.
So he wasn't trying to hide anything. He wasn't trying to hide you. It was all out in the open.
Well, he was married, so he didn't want any photos taken.
Right.
You know, we all love photos, so we got thousands of photos.
Oh my God. So one day we have to show you some photos.
Maybe.
Maybe not. So you went on this great date. So did that make you want to go on more? Did you see him again? What happened?
Well, I didn't like him, and he was pretty aggressive. So
okay.
And he was kind of boring, you know, engineer talk.
Right.
I'm
Boring, aggressive.
I'm in the arts. He's like doing math, you know. So.
Yeah, but I sometimes like those guys. I don't know. I like a bit of a nerd.
Well, fine, dear. Go find those guys.
Well, yeah.
They're not for me.
Okay, next time on Transline Hollywood.
And if you
So,
want to attack me for saying the wrong thing,
oh,
I can take it.
yeah, so can I. I'm sure I'm going to get skewered for being politically incorrect. But I'm Australian. We're all bloody politically incorrect. Oh, I'll get attacked from Australians. Go, no, I don't. And please share with your friends if this is going to help anyone. If anyone wants any personal advice, we don't have to do it on, or Suzanne, should I say, not me. Suzanne doesn't have to do it on video. I mean, if you have anything or questions that you ask, you're in a difficult situation, you live somewhere where, you know, you want someone who understands you. Suzanne,
Please.
yeah, just please send us an email through the website and I will promise. Well, I can you promise
Yes, I can promise.
that you'll respond?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm just
Bye.
traveling. I'm just traveling through. Ooh.